Hello, and welcome to the Rag Company Podcast. This is a treat. Every single week,
delicious treat.
Anthony rings us in with something new, and sometimes Levi too. But in this case, we have Morgan joining us this week, so this should be fun. We're going to tell our stories. We're going to have a good time.
We're going to talk about a little detailing as well. I think we're going to try to talk about some detailing this week.
A little bit of detailing.
Yeah, we're going to mix some of that.
I mean, we're not going to overdo it by any means, but
right. People come to this as a detailing podcast. We don't want to give them too much of a good thing.
Yeah. Right. Well, you want to get greedy.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they're always going to expect it. You know what I mean? It's like, kind of space it out.
I should preface this by saying it's been raining a lot outside lately, so
quite a bit.
Your detailing,
thought my house was going to flood.
Yeah, your detailing probably had to happen a lot indoors.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, thankfully, the MOS HQ comes fully equipped with a heated garage.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me more. Let's hear about your weekend.
Well, I detailed our old buddy, Tyler Sentsport, Santa
Yeah.
You detailed him?
I detailed his wife's BMW X5 because his M3 was in the shop. He's got it up for sale currently, so those of you that want to go back and check out that red M3 of his on our Wash Wednesday, check out some of his custom painted helmets and things like that.
Amazing.
Do check out the Wash Wednesday. But
that
yeah,
car's
so
famous, like internet famous.
It is internet famous. So I'll have that in the shop next month when we get back from the UK. Or no, we get back from New Jersey.
Yeah.
I'll have it in the shop. So, but did his wife's X5. Not bad. Silver, black interior, black leather. It's a diesel X5. Which is pretty nice.
Ooh, nice choice.
So worked on that. But you're right. I had to wash it in the rain. So that was fun to be out there. Had my raincoat on. It was good stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Friday night, I took the kids to Cabela's.
Ooh.
You did? Yeah.
Yeah, we went, and It
was an event.
It was an event. I went because I was looking at raincoats to take, like a lighter packable raincoat for a trip. Got one for Anthony as well. I was taking pictures and modeling them for all of us, really.
Yeah, you were in various poses in the store.
Photos were taken by my children.
Yeah, Hadley's great at taking photos.
She kept asking me to make funny faces.
Oh.
She'd take a picture and she'd go, okay, now do a funny face. I was like, no, just give me that. Let me
You're like, I'm trying to sell the jacket, not my face.
Yeah. But it was great because the kids were very excited to be at Cabela's.
Yeah.
They love seeing the fish.
Mm-hmm. The animals as
well.
well.
It's like where you bring the great outdoors indoors.
Yeah. They also are a little confused because they're not really sure if those are sculptures or dead.
Okay.
Oh.
So
absolutely dead.
Yeah, and I haven't told them all yet that they're kind of both.
Yeah.
Taxidermy is a fun thing to explain.
Yeah. I don't know if they're ready for that to go like, well, those little squirrels used to be alive. Someone killed them and then stuffed them to look like that.
And they do the same
thing
with small kids.
Couldn't they just leave them the way they were before? No, that would be
children.
too easy.
Yeah,
misbehaved children go up there too.
So we did that. They love it because they can go around jumping all the blinds and like hang out in little tents.
There's tents. I love the tents. Yeah.
Augie got to. He found the pop guns.
Oh, did he get a pop gun?
No, but he was walking around popping those guns like crazy.
He
did, however, try on a coonskin cap.
Oh, wow.
Which is, I think, perfect.
That is perfect for him. That
Love
does
it.
fit
I was
his
going to say,
fitting.
so
that he does need,
his personality.
Hadley, however, went and found herself a pink cowboy hat, put it on, and then found herself a stick horse. And I said, what are you doing over there?
She Taking her horse to the Old Town Road.
She goes, a cowgirl needs
perfect
her horse.
Wow, she was really going to town. Yeah.
You can't beat a horse with a stick if the horse is
She was adorable and had a very cute face there and thought it was amazing. She was running around the store the whole time.
Yeah.
And so it was good. So we did that. So Friday night did that. Saturday worked on the car. Kind of kept it light and easy for the wife and kids. We made tacos Saturday night.
Ooh, beef tacos?
Yeah. We're a pretty easy family. We literally just use it's seasoning, taco meat, and cheese on some tortillas.
No lettuce?
That's it.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Vegetables are for wimps. So
yeah. So
just lettuce.
Yeah. So we did. So that was it, and then Sunday just kind of hung out. Same thing. Just kind of chilled out. I had to teach a lesson at church, so I went and did that, and then came home and hung out. It was pretty simple. Light, easy weekend.
Nice.
But a new air conditioner got installed on Friday.
Mm.
Perfect weekend and week to fire that bad boy up with our cold springtime rainstorm.
60
degree weather that we've had all.
Degrees, yeah.
Sydney
got all this
posted a
week.
Facebook joke about how the weather did, a 90 down to 55 like it saw a cop hiding behind a billboard.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
it
thought that was about
did literally.
appropriate.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I literally have not been able to crank on my new air conditioner because I've had to run the heater
Yeah.
in the furnace because it's so cold outside. So,
Yeah.
I guess we'll
that,
find out
yeah.
if it works when it really counts.
Yeah, but this week I'm working on our UK schedule, basically
Yes, you have
finishing
been.
up all our
Yeah.
itinerary stuff. Anthony has decided to bring chocolate frogs
Yep.
on the trip.
Yep, I'm gonna
So-
order those because basically I am really trying to engulf this this Harry Potter experience.
Right.
That
Right. Well,
this
you are
real
going to be
life-
going on your bachelor party. You are going to be doing the Harry Potter experience at Universal Studios.
Correct, and I'm really trying to
So-
compare notes once I go from there to the UK.
Right.
So I'm buying my chocolate frogs there, and you think I'm kidding, but I'm not. And I'm actually going to buy my chocolate frogs there. And
You're
I'm
going to be able
going
to tell he's a
I'm
tourist.
probably
from
just going to
miles
grab
them.
mine at the candy
Yeah.
store around the corner from my house.
Okay.
And I'll just bring them with
That's
me.
fine.
That way I don't have to
And I'm just going
Pretty
to
much every
eat
flavor beans.
those while we're on the plane, while we're on the train. That's what I'm wanting to do.
Yeah.
So, and I'm willing to share, but if it jumps out of my hands and out the window, I don't really know what to tell you.
Yeah, that would not be good.
Yeah.
'Cause then you wouldn't be able to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Hope you get a really cool trading card.
I also hope I get a cool trading card. We will have to see that.
Yeah. So I've been getting all that. So we got our train times. I literally just paid for our train ticket, like our train cards, which will allow us to get discounts.
Yeah.
That's all it means. It's like you pay for a discount card.
We send them
Train
a
stuff.
picture, right? And then
Yeah.
they do pairs.
Yeah.
or
So
something?
So you and your dad, the Hennens are on a card together, and Anthony and I are on a card together, and we basically have to show that card if
But you can't show up without your buddy. It's the buddy system.
Yeah.
Right?
So I've got it being mailed to Clean and Shiny, and then John will send it to us here, so we have it before we leave.
Okay.
Should be good. And then, just getting ready and getting excited to head down to New Jersey. The four of us heading to Detailer's Domain.
All four of us.
All
We're
four of
going.
us, which is going to be a blast. Can't wait for that. So we hope you guys make it out to that. We're excited. I think the first day the class is actually sold out. There's 35 or 40 people. And then the open
That didn't
house
take
is
long.
still free. Come check it out. Come shake hands, meet us, see us, and buy a lot of stuff from Phil at Detailer's Domain. He's going to be putting huge sales.
Support
Yeah.
the guy. He's
Fun
running
stuff.
this show.
So-
It's very nice.
So that was it. That's where
Yeah.
I'm at.
Okay. Well, cool. As far as my weekend goes, very low key. Very.
It was like quiet. Maybe it was the weather.
It was the weather. I mean, I would have gone out and done yard work or something to that effect, but it was not.
Yard work.
You're laughing at me.
Dane does a lot of yard work.
You know.
Well, we know
I-
you take after your father. That man loves his yard work.
Well, actually, I don't. I don't have a green thumb like he does at all. I can do basic tasks, but when it comes down to
I
it,
just
like
want to know
getting a
when
plant
he
not
has
to
the
die.
time to go out in his yard.
No, see,
Well,
that's
when he takes the
thing
dog
is-
out to go to the bathroom, Dane pulls. a
No,
couple
I'm talking
weeds.
about Jeff.
Oh,
Pulls a
Jeff.
couple
Oh,
weeds.
yeah, no, it's amazing where he finds the time to be able to do that. He was talking the other day about how he was planting like 200 different flowers and doing all this
Yeah,
different stuff.
for
and
those
I'm
of you
like,
that are
oh my
wondering,
God.
Jeff Hennen, the owner of the rag company, is seriously
Green thumb.
a green thumb and has a beautiful yard to the
yeah.
point that it was on
Amazing.
a botanical gardens tour,
Yeah.
like
Really?
as one of the nicest yards in Boise,
Yeah.
like an
Back in,
award-winning.
2003.
It was an award-winning property
Wow.
of beauty.
I need to see
Have you
some
been to the
pictures.
Hennon's backyards,
No,
Morgan?
I've never been
That's
invited.
Pretty cool. We'll have
You
our
will
4th
if
of
it's
July
a
party.
4th of July party. We'll be having that there.
That'll be fun.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, no, he loves doing that. That's like his therapy.
Yeah.
So when he designs all that stuff, he truly does. He designs it like the whole layout and everything was all his idea, and he
Yeah.
pretty much built most of that by hand himself. I mean,
Yeah.
he obviously had some help when it came to doing like the different ponds and the little streams and stuff, but a lot of that was him.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you
credit.
guys literally have like a
Yeah.
pond and a waterfall that trickle down into the actual lake
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
back, which is
Well,
rad.
it's a great fishing spot if you're trying to catch koi. You can
Oh,
go
sure,
there
yeah.
on the
Yeah,
weekend.
you
Is that a common thing?
Pull 'em
Just
out.
like going fishing
Yeah.
for koi?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
so
they're big.
catch a they're huge.
I mean,
they are
They
huge.
they taste like goldfish. They're great.
They taste
Yeah.
like goldfish.
Yeah,
I assume he's not talking about the crackers.
Dane, that was bad.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Morgan.
well, besides that, it was just Game of Thrones.
Cool.
Everybody knows Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
But I ain't
Wonderful.
spoiling nothing, so we're moving on.
It was a good time. It was a good time on
it was an
Sunday. I yelled at the
interesting
screen a
time.
couple times.
Yeah.
But other than that,
All I know is I was just very happy that the goodest boy in Westeros got some
that's
pets.
right. He got some pets.
Yeah.
Pets.
Moving on.
Pets.
Moving
Not
Pets?
say pets. Not saying anything more than that.
He's a good boy. You can get some pets.
The goodest boy got some pets.
Pets. Like pet.
Yeah.
Like pet. You can't ruin this for me because I am just getting through season 4. I'll
Well,
get
there were a
Anthony
lot of
just
complaints.
started.
Yeah, he's just finally getting
Yeah.
up there.
Well,
All right.
Morgan.
Any rate, Morgan.
Yeah,
continue.
so this weekend on Saturday, I took a little mini day trip up to McCall.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
And up there we had a friend who has an E63 AMG, a brand new one.
I believe that's a $150,000 car.
It's a very
Well,
expensive.
it depends on which one, because there's newer ones, there's older ones. They've been around.
It's the brand new.
Okay.
It literally
so-
had 1,000
So
miles
good
on
friend.
So
good.
yeah.
it. So good
Young
friend to have.
friend.
He did take us in a couple little. It's McCall. There's a lot of empty areas. We kind of drove a little
Mountain
bit.
roads.
Yeah, a little bit out of the public area there, and I have never felt a car shift that smooth with that much power and torque without any let up. Like you couldn't feel the shifts. It was the weirdest thing, and like the front seats had like the bolsters would like inflate.
Oh yeah.
So that-
where it's active.
Yeah.
bolstering.
So if there were, any parts of the turn, like they would inflate, and it was
Yeah.
just so weird. And I was like, "What the heck? This is crazy!" And it just makes me like, it's so amazing to know that the technology has come so far with like vehicles. And
Well, good friends of the program, Jeremy Harding of Rupes drives an E63 sedan.
Wow.
It's his wife's car.
Wow. Yeah.
And then also a good friend of the program, Aaron Knox, also has an E63
Yeah.
sedan. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically
You know?
like a business class bruiser.
Yeah.
So
Was this
So,
a wagon or an actual just a sedan?
no, it was just a sedan.
if it was a wagon, I'd be all about it.
Dane's all about the wagon.
He is.
about that
He
wagon.
is.
Now, what I will say is, I love AMGs. They sound amazing, all that stuff. And you're absolutely right about the transmission. For an auto, it's friggin' nuts. But I gotta have a manual. I gotta. Like, that's what kills me about AMGs. They don't come with manuals.
Yeah.
It's because they're smarter than you.
There's always that guy in the
They're like, I
comment.
can shift better than you, Dane.
Like, if there's that guy that I am, it's you could have had a manual. 3 pedals.
Dane Hennen, not only future spokesman of the Preservation Society for Shifters,
The
but-
Manual Gearbox Preservation
Yeah,
Society.
yeah. Not only is he a spokesman,
subscribe to the
he's
newsletter.
also the president of the Baconator Club.
I did hear about the Baconator Club, but unfortunately he can no longer eat the buns of the Baconators. Still he can eat the meat though.
Yeah,
All the meat he could eat.
it's delicious.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry,
Anyways.
Morgan.
So anyway, it also had that weird 360 camera.
Yes, those are so cool.
And I was like, I was literally trying to figure out how this is happening.
On the front or on the back, or
So
it
it's the
just-
cameras that show the bird's eye view.
yeah. So they have one
And-
usually on the front. They have them on the mirrors and one on the back, and then it takes its own.
It stitches a
No,
composite image where it takes it all together. But if you're talking about the system that they use in like the BMWs now, where you can actually like click on the car and spin.
Well, like you
around
could
it.
see like above. We could
Okay,
see
so it's the
above the
bird's eye
car.
one.
Yes, a
Okay,
bird's eye
'cause-
view.
yeah.
And we were turning around, and these are like small 2-lane like country roads out in the middle of nowhere. And there's like a small road, and then there's like the ditch on the side. And he was going to flip around because we were going back the other way, and like I literally he just drove, and then the camera changed to show a 360 around the entire car from the bird's eye, and you could literally see the ditch and like the fence and all of this. And I was like, literally, what's going on? Like how?
I think it uses a combination of obviously the 360
angles.
view. I think it
Satellite
also
imagery
uses
plus
satellite
the
imagery. I
cameras.
think it uses a little bit of everything. I think really the only
And it probably has a drone that launches from the roof and just flies
Yeah.
alongside it.
BMW has the coolest system though. Have you seen that? Where in like every single Doug DeMuro video now, he always points it out where it's literally like a 3D representation of your vehicle. You can actually zoom out from it, and you can go around the vehicle, as opposed to just having the top down. It's like literally you can see in a parking lot, but it's like ground level, looking at your car, seeing around it. Which
I don't
is
understand.
nuts.
I literally
and it
don't
creates
get
3D
it.
models of
Yeah.
the cars in the parking lot around.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I don't get it.
It's
So
crazy
yeah, that was
smart.
pretty mind blowing. I just don't know what to say other than that was a crazy car.
Yeah.
And I was
so you guys
like,
were just up in McCall for the day?
yeah, we literally were up there for a couple hours, and then
Did
we
you go to my father's place or whatever to get the burgers that they do?
no, we went to like the Toll House or something like
that's
that.
also
good.
That is also good.
Yeah, so we were up there for a bit. He was the guy that owned the Mercedes had a Movi that Brandon was
Oh,
buying.
not to be confused with the Mevo, which Anthony hates.
A Movi is a speaker.
A Movi is a speaker.
What is a Movi?
I was waiting for him to see what he would say.
Yeah, like it's like a Ronin,
There you
Oh, okay.
like the stabilizer
So I'm
gimbal
going
thing.
camping, taking Ragnarok, not this weekend because it's Natron's wedding. Next weekend,
Yeah.
I'll be going camping with my children,
Yeah.
my wife, and my parents.
Yeah.
My dad has asked that I tow his tent trailer
Mm.
up to the campsite. We're going to be going to Ponderosa there. in
Oh,
McCall.
Ponderosa, very
Yeah.
nice.
My dad's taking his motorhome,
Oh, cool.
and then he wants me to bring the tent trailer in case we want to sleep in it. But I was like, no, we got a tent and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll
Yeah.
see. You never know. I may like take over that king size bed in there and sleep in it myself.
Yeah. Make
There you
another
go.
Bill Thraki pleasure tent.
This is my tent trailer.
Yeah.
The
my
Dothraki
Dothraki pleasure tent trailer.
Yeah. I like that.
Nice.
Like
Nice.
it's mobile.
You need to make it wooden wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love
but
it.
it was funny. My dad was like, I hope your truck can pull it. Like, the Suburban.
Are you
I laughed and I said,
kidding me?
I go, the Suburban will pull your motorhome.
It'll pull your house.
He's got the same engine in his motorhome.
Yeah, yours
That's
has a
awesome.
little less weight to contend. A little
Yeah.
bit less.
And don't forget about that time that it beat a Volvo V50 R design off the line.
Yeah.
That did happen. I recall.
Fully loaded with like 6 other people.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, that happens.
Unfortunately, very
That
true.
Wild.
That's what happens when you have a
Wasn't-
car that has extra
I'd-
parts on it that hasn't had a chip tune or anything done to it, and you have
Yeah.
a transmission that you're afraid of breaking.
Yeah.
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 So
Suburban doesn't have a chip tune on it, just so everyone's
Yeah.
aware.
Yeah, except yours
So,
doesn't
bone
have
stock
additional parts
Suburban.
that it has to, because it's
Rolling
all
on
about the
34s.
programming. It's all about the programming. So if you add like a downpipe and you remove the cat and do all this other stuff, then you end up with a situation where if the computer doesn't know that, it's treating it like it's stock and it doesn't run properly.
So that's what
So-
that's what's happening with your car.
Yeah,
why
essentially
I
it would
lost the
it would
race?
run better if I actually had it tuned properly.
I told Dane that the first week he got the car. I
Yeah.
said, you should probably get this tuned. It's got a
Haven't
bunch
done
of...
it yet.
Dane was like, I don't know what you're talking about. That was 2.5 years ago.
It's been a while. So,
So, Anthony, what'd you do all day?
thanks for asking.
What'd you do all day?
So all day, what did I end up doing all day? So on, I believe it was Friday night. Friday night, I ended up going and crap. Sorry. Friday night, was super excited.
Pausing.
I
We're all
had
tired
to get my
today.
Grom all prepared for.
Oh, that's right. You
the-
now got that new exhaust. You've got the new intake.
the Grom
You're
racing.
getting to go racing.
He had
Yeah.
a great video he showed me that
Yeah.
apparently he's not putting on his channel.
So so Friday night, basically spent time getting the Grom all prepped, got the oil changed, I got the chain all cleaned up.
So you change that oil
yeah.
basically every time you drive it.
I changed the
He
oil.
seems to change
I
it.
That's what it
changed.
feels like.
I changed the oil, Eddie.
Am I right, listeners?
I think he
about-
just likes buying new oil.
I think he does too.
Well, so a quart of that oil is $3, and there's no filter or anything to change. So it's quite literally one bolt. It drains out, put the bolt back in, put the new stuff in. So it's cheap insurance, and I change it every 500 to 750 miles.
okay.
And it's just cheap insurance. And
Yeah.
I know it'll get me
Well, it's
$3,000.
only a quart.
But
so-
it's literally $3, and it takes me all of 5 minutes to do.
Is it like a 2-cycle oil or is it like a?
Oh, it's
normal-
4-cycle oil. That's
Oh,
just
okay.
normal 4-cycle oil. It's just a 5W30 GN4 Honda oil, and
really basic stuff.
really basic. Yeah, super basic.
You
So
thought about doing synthetic?
so you don't want to run synthetic in there because there's shifter modifiers that
Yeah.
affect the shifting.
Dane knows all about shifter modifiers.
Well,
So-
no, that's the thing. In my Miata, if I run synthetics, it runs worse.
Yeah, you'll get clutch slipping if you run synthetic on a Grom. And so
Well,
whereas
that
you want
same thing happens on Dane's Miata if you put synthetic oil in his engine, he gets clutch slippage.
That's not how that works.
Okay. Anyway,
I see you in the
That's
screen over here nodding. Yes, like that's exactly.
I
what
nodded a
happens.
lot of things just to, emphasize that there was conversation happening, and I am actively engaged in listening.
So
The commenters are aware of this.
you guys. So Friday night was it was pretty laid back, pretty chill, and then so Saturday morning, woke up and that's when I had to start getting prepped.
Put the
So
Grom in the back of the Honda.
no, unfortunately not. So it was funny because basically what this was a go-kart track out in Star, Idaho, giving us permission to come do a test run to see if the Groms were suitable for their racetrack. Meaning we have no idea.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever ran it. It's getting a group out there to say, hey, do we like this enough to actually make something work? So it's really funny. I rode my Grom out to Star, right?
Mm-hmm.
About 20-minute ride. My new
you had to warm it up.
My new and unlocked power on the Grom
Yeah.
felt really good. Rode it all the way out there. As I show up at the track, I see all the other guys that I know
Trailers.
that trailered their Groms or put them in the back of their trucks. So they're like walking their bikes out, and I'm looking at them like, I'm like, David, you live 5 minutes from here. Why did you put it in the back of your truck? Oh, I just thought,
Well, when he wrecks it,
Yeah,
he breaks
well,
everything. You can't ride it home.
So I'm like,
I gotta
oh.
be able to get home. You can walk home, man.
So I'm like, why is everybody doing this? This is strange. So, but everybody was definitely in like a different mindset. Because normally when we go to our little
Yeah,
group
race
rides,
day.
it's all just funny. It's just fun. Like
they were all changing their oil too.
They were
No,
very
these-
serious.
these
pulling
guys
them.
were there. They had some of those Groms were on stands. They're changing out sprockets. Like there was 3 guys there I've never met before in my life in full race suits. And I'm like, who are you people? Like I know everybody that has a Grom here in town, and I don't know who you people are. And so it was really funny. And basically, we did like a walk of the track. Track was super awesome. Perfect size for a
It looked
Grom. You're
great.
getting about a top speed about 50,
Wow.
but throughout most of the turns, you're hitting about anywhere from 20 to 30. So you're still having a blast.
Which,
you know.
let's be fair, that's about where the most
still pretty
bikes top
quick.
off. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting the full run of it.
So I guess the only it's got enough complexity to it, but it's quick. You're doing a lap in about 30 seconds, basically. You're going pretty quick, and
Once
so
you're already moving.
yeah, once you're already moving. So
Hot lap.
basically, I think if it was a little bit bigger, it'd be nice, or if they offered us the ability to run it backwards, would be a change.
Kinda mix it
But
up.
so we went out there, we did several laps. The first person did wreck within about about 20 minutes, and he went down pretty hard,
Oh,
and he hit his head, and he was wearing full leathers and a full suit.
As you should.
But
no helmet.
but no, he's wearing a helmet. But I think
I'm on
it
a
was.
Grom. Why would I need?
I think it's one of those things where
Because
his
it's
ego
scooter.
is
Yeah, I
bruised
bet.
more than
I bet.
My
anything
razor scooter,
because
I'm out there.
I'm faster.
it's like you're wrecking on a small little baby bike in front of all these people, and you're
Yeah.
like, how did you wreck that thing?
It started
And
embarrassing and it got worse.
Yeah.
So
Didn't think it
it-
could get
he-
worse.
it was all good though. He was fine. I ended up I did several laps, but it was kind of funny because you're sitting there trying not to get too competitive because you're
Right.
wearing jeans and just riding shoes and a jacket.
Yeah.
Because
Except for the dude that had full leathers.
except for
on.
the dudes that had full leathers on, because if you
Boots.
go down, it's still gonna hurt.
Was it raining at all?
No,
Or
it's
what-
not raining. We
oh,
had
okay.
an open window of pure sunshine, about 66 degrees. It was really nice out. The tires were getting really warm, and that was fun. I guess the funny part about it all was that after doing several laps and getting the go-karts out there and going back and forth with them, I could see this being a thing, and I could see this being, really popular.
Well, something you're going to bring your child to and your wife to cheer you on at your races. on
Yeah.
Saturday.
Well, I think it's funny though because almost every person there though was sitting there thinking to themselves, "Wow, our Groms are too nice to do this."
Right.
And which is funny because it's such an inexpensive
Yeah.
thing to begin
Yeah.
with, but they're like, "This is too nice. We're probably going to wreck these. We should buy another Grom."
Right. Build a cheaper one.
So I'm
like
sitting
buy
here
one
like,
of those
and,
Chinese
like,
knockoffs.
And I'm totally getting it because I'm sitting here thinking to myself, if something happened to my bike and it went down, I would be very mad. It would because it wouldn't be like $50. It would be several $100s to fix anything that would break on it. So I was even sitting there thinking, if this becomes a thing, somebody would have to have a
Beater Grom.
beater Grom.
But like welcome to motorsport.
A daily grom.
It's not cheap,
Yeah.
and things break.
Yeah.
And that's just a fact of life if
Yeah.
you're going to continue to do that.
And
Sucks.
I really doubt Katie's gonna let me get. That's gonna be a really hard sell.
Honey, you need to
I-
understand.
This is my
I need
racing Grom.
2
Yeah.
of these.
Yeah, I need another one.
She's gonna go. Yeah, you're more than welcome to do that.
And then
Just
the other
sell
Grom's
your
going to sit
Triumph.
next to the
No,
Evo.
She'll say
no.
sell the
She's
Never
Evo.
gonna
gonna say
move.
sell the Evo. She,
Give
she
me part of the money so we can buy some rental property.
I mean,
and then you can buy an Evo. You can
As,
buy a
as
fake Grom.
horrible as that sounds, I think that Evo would really benefit from going to an owner who actually drives it.
Ooh, ouch,
Oh
I am,
my
uh,
God.
Ouch.
I hate to say this.
ouch.
I completely disagree.
Oh,
I
ouch.
think,
I am
I think that-
100%.
I think that car needs to be
Ouch.
driven.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
man.
we mount that steering wheel in his office, and then
Well, it's
That's
also
what I love
going.
when people
buy
but you
driver's
have to drive it.
cars
Then he can
in
just
the
go
summer.
in his
Don't
office.
And you will.
drive
Yeah,
them.
I do.
A couple times.
I do.
you
I
could
mean-
mount that steering wheel on your wall, and then you could just pretend, because it probably gets you the same amount of feeling that you get
Just sitting in the
Like
car and
sitting
going,
in the car.
I'm not
"Ah,
gonna
good,
fault
get
people
out."
who like buy a very
Just set it on his
specific
desk.
who buy a very specific rare car and keep it for like its investment potential. I get that upsets some people where they're like, "Oh, you should be driving that." That I understand though. If you make a smart purchase where you know it's going to appreciate, it's
I
that
try
kind
and
of car.
drive all my vehicles 2 days a week.
But in
Yeah.
the case of an Evo, it's such a just a car that needs to be driven. It's
That's
such a
true.
it's
But
a
you're
good
not
car.
you're not garaging it because you want to sell it for $100,000
You
in
drive-
30
you garage it
years.
'cause
You
you're
garage
scared
it
as hell.
because
He's
you
not.
you want to keep it looking
But
nice
see,
and
here's the
being
problem.
nice.
That's the intent, but on the surface, what he's doing is exactly the same thing.
I don't know. So I daily drove it for 4.5 years.
Hot talk.
Every
Right
single,
here.
I drove it
Right.
No,
every
see,
single
this is
day.
the kind of conversation I'd love to have on the podcast. Just bring it up, like, oh, ripe for discussion.
right, Anthony.
Let's
I'm just saying.
break
Explain
him over the
yourself.
coals.
I
Explain
daily
yourself.
drove that thing every single day.
So
I,
it's-
rain, snow, shine, hail, right?
Yeah.
And it's
So it's
served.
deserved its rest, is what you're
It's
saying.
gotten
It's retired
plenty and plenty. I've put so much time. I spent more time in that car than any one of my other
now.
cars.
So you're done with it.
So no,
Well, the
I'm
reason
not
he did
done with
is
it.
because it was
It's-
his only car at the time.
Yeah,
So-
that's your only.
Why he didn't
so
have a choice.
the thing is now it's hard to justify driving that thing in traffic. On the
Right.
weekends, I have a blast driving it.
Okay.
Driving it to work is always hard because I'm sitting there running a heavier clutch than my Civic is, is running,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
But also, I'm sitting there putting unnecessary. I don't want to say unnecessary miles, but am I having fun driving that car to
No.
work? No, not at all.
But some people
right?
would say that buying that as your commuter every day is what brings that smile to your face.
They took an economy car and they
Right.
turned
Yeah,
it into
yeah.
a rally car.
I
Right.
have to
That
say
you could
when I
daily
get
drive every
a
day.
daily, it will be the same exact way. My
So-
car will sit perfectly in the garage except for on the weekend when I
That's-
can drive it
that's
like
why-
it should
That's
be
how
driven.
that's how I drive my little red truck.
But see,
Same
that's the
thing.
thing. Like, I understand there's all walks of life with people's approach to how they handle the daily driver issue. In your case, you have one car, you make the most of it, and it's a very motorsport inspired car. But at the same time, it's not horribly uncomfortable to drive,
Right,
despite
right.
how it looks. People might think it is, but it's not.
It's all around perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it's on bags, so you're all right. And in your case, you got the truck. You can beat on it. You don't feel
I drove
terrible
the Suburban
about
yesterday.
it. Yeah, and the Suburban. I mean, that thing's
Suburban
just
is a unicorn Suburban.
I drove the Unicorn Suburban yesterday
yeah.
and drank a lot of gas.
Oh yeah, not to start talking about gas too.
Yeah, so that's the other thing too. Put 91 in on a car that gets
Beg your
roughly 17 miles per gallon.
On a good day.
Oh, so
Depending
it's
how
the
you
same
drive
as
it.
my Volvo then.
Oh,
Not-
you
And
got
I-
17? Wow, I get 25 in my little truck, and
I was to
And-
say in the Suburban. I
and
think
the
Yeah, I was
Elantra,
like,
the
wow.
Elantra,
Wow.
the
I was
Elantra
like,
is a high performance machine.
sorcery?
I put 91 in it. I get 32 miles to the gallon in it.
Why do you put?
It's only getting
91 in your
32.
Elantra?
The Civic's getting 42, and I really
Elantra
love
gets,
that.
Well, the Elantra's got a lot more power than the Civic.
The Civic gets a lot better mileage than my Miata does. I top out at like 25.
Yeah.
No,
The
Civic's
little truck
fantastic.
gets about 25. It's great.
Now, on the
Suburban
other
gets
hand-
about 11.
Yeah, I mean, I knew. Like, on the best days, that Suburban got about 15 if you were really lucky. But the thing is, you could be towing
drive that
something.
way.
You could be towing something, and it still wouldn't dip below like
8.
12 because it was always hanging around that margin. You could get down to 8 if you were like up a hill, full pedal to the metal. Like,
Well, Dane, I only drive that thing full pedal to the metal.
I mean, it is fair. That's the way Levi drives everything.
So
But
Yeah.
in the case of, I'm impressed what your Civic's able to get. My C-Max gets 58, but that's besides the
Well,
point.
I
Well,
want
Dane
that.
has-
Liz
as we all know.
Liz is
But is
getting
that
58.
that's
Dane
hybrid
has
or
3
electric?
cars.
It's hybrid, though, so it's not really
Okay.
a fair fight.
Well, I see. That's kind of something that
You want to get something like that, like
Well,
like a C-Max?
I do because I literally just
I'm telling you right now, one of the best investments you can make for just like a cheap commuter car. I know people are going to hate on this. Buy yourself a cheap, like
Nissan
second gen Prius. The Leaf has like no range.
Mm-hmm.
The Prius is actually not a bad car in its second form, like what F-Spot drives on his YouTube channel. What his like incognito car, because
Yeah.
his SVR draws all the
Yeah.
attention. But his Prius is perfect because you can get him for like $3,600.
Yeah.
And the replacement batteries for him, because everybody's thinking, oh, it's old, I'm going to need to buy a new battery for it. They got the price on those specific batteries for those Priuses now. They're so mass produced, so you can get them for like $1,000 now for the battery.
Yeah.
So you got yourself a good running car, it gets great mileage, can run forever, as evidenced by those taxis versions of them.
Yeah.
If you're looking for like, it's not the most exciting thing, but if you just need something that's practical, that's a good way to go.
exactly.
Consumer
Daisy
advice
mileage.
from Dane.
Yeah.
And I hate
This
the
has
other
been
thing.
Dane Explains.
Yeah.
I hate parking 500 feet out at the grocery store, probably further than that.
And see, in my Miata,
When
I
it's
get
raining, it's literally pouring, and I'm freaking carrying eggs,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I literally have to walk a half mile to get to my car to put these
So-
You don't
groceries
push
in my car.
you don't put them in a shopping cart. Push the
Well,
cart.
I do, but I still,
She literally goes to the store just to buy eggs so that
Yeah.
she can carry it to the back of the parking lot.
Well,
I carry one egg at a time to be extra
Oh,
careful.
okay, yeah.
And it just seems like that's a waste of my time.
so let's
Oh, I could see
let's
that.
go and bring this up though. So
Yeah.
basically, yes, I agree. It's hard having a car, like a cool
So-
car sitting in the garage. It is. The thing is that let's say 3 years ago, when I was daily driving this every single day, I enjoyed driving that. I enjoyed driving it at 5 o'clock, right? I enjoyed driving it at 9 o'clock in the morning, right, on the way to work. I enjoyed driving it any time during the day, and it was always, and I'd never minded parking away from things, right?
Sure.
You know, it'd be maybe instead of a 30-second walk into the building, I was looking at a 40-second walk because I parked, a couple spaces out. Do you guys know how many people have moved here in the last 3 years? That
Our
is
population has gone.
not
Exploded.
the same experience anymore, and it will, and it
Well,
could possibly.
and you live in the thick of it.
Yes, I live so far out of the way now to where, like I said, what's hard for me, and this is just with any vehicle I have, not just the Evo. I sit there and I get very mad at the situation that we are in, right, traffic wise. So I am mad no matter what when I'm driving and commuting in the Civic.
Where did you come from again, Anthony? Where'd you move here from? Oh, okay. Continue.
Meridian.
He really
Go ahead.
should be
Continue
used to
on.
this.
Anyways, I was born and raised in Boise, Idaho, and so
Were you? I was
yeah.
born
He
and,
was
and raised in Boise as well.
Yeah.
St. Luke's.
He's
Yeah.
like, funny, I didn't
Great.
see you
Yeah.
around it.
I was a
same.
St. Al's kid myself.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
I'm sorry.
so, anyways,
Why don't we check the Idaho Statesman for birds?
don't do
on
don't
day?
do that. Don't do that. So anyway, but I'm saying it's not the same experience anymore. So now I am just mad. I'm just mad when I drive, and so that's
Yeah, I
why
would
I'm
be
like
too if I lived where you do.
I would rather be mad driving in the Civic, getting 42 miles per gallon, not caring if a truck in front of me is carrying a crap ton of rock and drops it.
Sticks?
See,
Well,
the funny
hold
Have you
on,
ever driven
hold
one
on.
He
of
says
You-
that,
you-
but I don't
landscaping
believe
trucks and
you
they
would
drop
hate-
sticks
I
on you
don't
and there's
believe
sticks
him.
hitting your car?
If that happened, you would be like, I was in the friggin' Civic, and now I got to fix all this paint work and all this rock
You
chips.
know, driving
I
behind
just
that
put a
truck,
new windshield in it.
his grip on the steering wheel
Oh, yeah.
tightens just
Hands are
ever so
sweating.
much.
You
Just-
turn that
Well,
car too
there's
nice
handprints.
out.
So-
Pretty soon that's going to be a garage
But
queen.
this is the difference,
as
though.
well.
So I don't drive the Evo on the freeway. I know everybody thinks that's hilarious.
Oh, my brother-in-law does
I
the
will
same
get-
thing with his Jeep.
I will get so mad if I get a
He's
rock
scared
chip
of a rock
from the
chip.
freeway,
That's how
right?
he is too. He doesn't
Yeah.
even drive on the freeway.
I
It's
won't
a
drive
private
in the
car.
freeway. The Civic,
So I'll just
I
drive through
Cherokee.
farmland for 3 extra hours to
Yeah.
get
You
to the
yeet
places
on the
I need
freeway.
to go.
Oh yeah. So
He
that's
yeets the
why
Honda.
on the Civic,
Oof.
I am
He likes
literally
cracking VTEC.
I am going under semis on that thing. I am pulling
my
I
God.
am pulling Fast and Furious in that situation.
DVD VHS combo players. tires.
But
Yeah.
No.
so I think that's why I have a hard time driving it. And the thing is, we're going to be stuck. We're not stuck. We are going to be in this
No, it's just gonna
location
get bigger.
for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like a time that I could see my experience changing,
Moving
right?
out
And
by
I think I think Sydney's going to like this. If I lived in Hidden Springs,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Blast.
Oh,
Awesome.
You'd be mobbing that road
Awesome.
every
I
day.
would be I would be driving that car every single day because I'd be having the time of my life on a fun commute to work, right?
Yeah.
But also still relatively close.
Yeah.
That would totally
Agreed.
change my mind.
I agree.
I agree.
And
as
that's
well.
why there's a girl actually, right? She works out over here at the Idaho Athletic, has a red Evo. I think she's an older lady. She lives in Hidden Springs, and I always look at her and I'm like, how
That's your dream.
jealous am I? Is to have that commute through the canyons and the
so
twisties.
why haven't you made that move yet?
I don't think Katie would support that.
I'm
decision.
going to have to save up
It's not
quite a
cheap.
bit, and
Not
I
cheap
have to
at
save
all.
up quite a bit, and I need to
Well, you can move close to
invest.
Hidden Springs.
Well, I need to invest into a lot of pineapple attire.
Well,
Yeah, I
I
guess
mean,
you're right.
Tommy
yeah,
Bahama
that goes.
shirts.
That goes
And I
with
need
that
to
stuff.
Tommy
tell-
Bahamas.
And I need to tell Katie to have a very open mind moving into this.
You never know.
into
You
this
never know.
new-
Oh no!
Just saying.
Oh no! It's these parties again. I thought we got away. from
No.
that.
We're back. We're
Those
back.
of you that are
Swing
wondering,
sets.
there's a rumor going around that Hidden Springs was originally founded as a swinging community.
Yeah.
But it is a beautiful little
Yeah,
area.
if you can hang from it, yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. So
They had a softball team named the
but
Hidden Springs Swingers.
but so I think
Oh,
a lot of
no.
people could agree with probably that mindset that are listening to this podcast right now. Now, one other thing that a lot of people would bring up too, and they would, as an argument, would say, "Well, Anthony, why don't you just PPF your whole car, right? Or why
Right,
don't
yeah.
you do paint protection film?"
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because it's really expensive.
So, and you're right, Dane. I would say that through our connections, though, I think that
Yeah,
we,
you
that I
could
think that
work
we, I
something.
think that all of us would be able to work something out. A hard part I have though and this is where it is just some weird obsessive thing in my head. Same thing with Matt. PPF film, right? You have a chip in your PPF film now. That changed the way that car looks now. Now that you have a chip, so it's either you have a chip in your film or you have a chip in your paint, and you're like, oh, at least it didn't get to my paint.
guys, I've got it. I found
And let's
the
talk
solution.
about the rock chip that was in
Okay.
the Jaguar.
Well,
Yeah,
we
Well,
have
yeah,
this.
no,
and
yeah.
then there's
and-
some
The
death
solution
chips.
is don't own a car. Then I guess.
No,
No.
well, like I was working on Tyler's BMW, and on the hood,
Yeah.
there's a huge dent from a rock
Yeah.
that went through the PPF
Through
and into the
PPF,
paint and dented the hood.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and it's just
So
hard. yeah.
It doesn't matter what rock's got your number.
No.
But I will say this. So my dad has a lot of cars. He can't drive all of them.
No.
He tries to drive some of them. And I have that same gene
Mm-hmm.
where I will
Attempt.
also have
Yeah.
many vehicles. So I try, like I haven't driven the little red truck for 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So I drove it last week and this week.
Keep the fluids turning.
You gotta,
you know?
and during the winter when I didn't drive it, I just would warm it up and I'd,
Yeah.
cycle the transmission through a little bit. And, but I'd let it warm up. Same with Carly's scooter. We'd let it warm up and, just,
Yeah, you
Let
got to
it
let
hang
it
out.
heat cycle.
yeah. But I try to drive at least one car a day, kind of on
Yeah.
like a split, just for fun. Plus, it keeps it fresh.
Yeah.
It's exciting. And
Yeah.
none of my cars are that nice. So I don't ever have to worry about what goes on the freeway and what doesn't.
Y-
However,
that's
I
very
will
true.
say I feel the pain
Yeah.
every time I get in the Camry.
Mhm.
And there's either, new rock chip in the
A
window.
friggin'
or,
pallet in the middle of the
Or a
road.
pallet in the middle of the road, or the damage that has been done to
Yeah.
it. Like, it hurts because I make payments on that car.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest thing about it is you're still like, ugh.
Yeah.
So I get
That
it.
Yeah.
does.
So, and that's just the point I wanted to bring up. It didn't always used to be that way. Like I said, it really wasn't that way until
Yeah, it wasn't a
until-
garage queen.
until we had this
Explosion.
explosion of growth, because I really did. I loved going out and driving that car. Now I just find myself sitting in traffic, getting mad,
Yeah.
and then also I live in an area to where there's not really a whole lot out there. There's not like a destination for me to go to where I say this is where I'm going to be for today, and I like driving out to here because
Yeah.
there's nothing like that out there. I'm going to Walmart or I'm going to.
See, I take my Miata up in the mountain roads all the time, and I'm happy.
Correct, but you have to say I'm going up there. Now, when's
Yeah.
the last time you drove bogus? Because I rode bogus 2 weeks ago and was caught in traffic and construction. And I said,
It really depends on when you go.
yeah,
When you go changes
it's
Yeah.
so a lot of the things that we used to love, we have lost those.
That's why you guys need to come out to my end of town where
Where it's already
people are
full of population.
people are starting to move in quick, and it's getting crazy.
Well, yeah.
But the roads are still open.
Do you guys remember driving? I know people listening to this won't know, but driving Warm Springs and Hill when it was just dead. Like
Every
I'm
day.
talking
Baseball, yeah.
dead.
I used to
And
do that every day.
I used to love going and taking that all
Speaking
the
of
way
Warm
back.
Springs and Hill, after this, we should go to Pack Out.
Oh, we could. But I love
that?
I love taking Warm Springs, through the older homes, going
Yeah.
around that
Yep.
mountainside right
Yep.
before any of that was built out, taking that all the way around to the reservoir, area back
Yeah.
in there. I
when
love
I was
that drive.
When I was a teenager, I'd leave my dad's house just down the street over here,
Yeah.
and I would go up to Hill Road, which is over on this side, and it's just north of us. Those of you that are wondering, and I'd take Hill Road, and I'd be driving our '85 Supra Mark II,
Nice.
and I would take it and do the Hill Road. I'd blast down Hill Road, and then cruise down Warm Springs. I'd turn around. I'd hit the second dam.
Yeah.
Or the first dam, I guess, because Lucky Peak technically is the second dam. So I'd hit Diversion Dam, which is the first one,
Yeah.
and I'd flip around right there, and then I'd blast back, and I'd head all the way down here to Eagle, and then I'd come back home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
That was my afternoon, and it was like a quick 30-minute drive, but it was a fun
30
drive.
No, I was gonna say.
That's a half a day trip right there.
But,
I don't know what
Uh,
you're talking about. It's 30 minutes,
yeah.
Anthony.
No, like I hear you. Granted,
You don't know how fast I was going. 18.
hey, I can relate in my Subaru SVX of all
Oh,
things.
yes.
I used to take it down to Banks and come back.
Yeah.
On the windy road, pretty fast, 2 a.m. Like I would drive out there in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Nobody on the road.
I used to do that same
Great
run.
drive, but I did have a healthy fear of an animal crossing the road.
I used to do that same run in my Oldsmobile,
Yeah.
Cutlass Supreme,
You know-
76.
Yeah.
I'd hit those turns.
I'm
and I would-
terrified of the idea of what that was like in the turns in that car because those turns, if you're not paying attention, a lot of people slide off
let's
the road.
just say my
I had an
sill
all-wheel
plates
drive
would
Japanese
bang on the
car.
ground
Yeah.
because you'd hit so hard. You'd bam.
You know where I think I'm gonna drive out to?
It was so floaty.
I'm gonna go to Swan Falls because nobody goes out to Swan Falls.
Yeah, nobody goes
Now
out
that he
there.
said it, everybody will. Yes,
Dang
Morgan.
it.
I have something exciting that I would add to my weekend that I completely
Oh,
forgot
yes.
about that I think
Please
you guys will be
do.
interested in. So a friend of a friend that I know but I don't really talk to on the daily, know very well, won a Supra this weekend.
What?
And he is from here.
What?
So he won the Motion Auto Supra.
That guy is from here.
He's from here.
Wow.
So I say we need to
Have him come over, hang out.
What's
have
his
him-
name? You met him?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's Brian Pham's cousin.
what a lucky guy!
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So Brian texted me and Brandon and was like, dude, my cousin just won a Supra. And I was like, it's just weird because you never
Yeah, you never know anybody that buys a
you
that wins a
never
car.
know the person who actually wins it. You're like,
So,
what a
you
lucky
never know.
person.
I had an uncle, that won in 1989.
Mm-hmm.
He won a Mustang GT
Oh wow.
from
Little Fox body days.
Wonder Bread.
Wonder Bread.
Wonder Bread was
That feels like an
raffling
appropriate
off,
sponsor for a month.
Yeah.
was raffling
yeah.
off a white Mustang GT convertible
Yeah.
in
Man.
'89.
Did it
And I
have
remember-
the Wonder Bread decal?
No, but it had the white louvered taillights.
If it just had some blue, red, and yellow dots.
Yeah.
Oh,
on
that'd be
it, you know?
amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it was one of those weird things back then. You could drive it for, they'd let you have it for a year, and then you either had to give it back or buy it from them.
Yeah, I think I do
They
remember
used to do those
things
all
like
the time
that.
with
Yeah.
What color was the interior on it?
I have red.
Okay, so it had the red interior.
White
Oh,
with
Those
red
things
liner.
those things popped like crazy when you saw them. Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember they drove it for a year.
Yeah, I remember things being like that during
They
giveaways
used to do it all the
back
time.
in the
They
day.
do giveaways.
I do remember
you'd
something
get it
like
for a
that.
year, and then you had to give it back.
And I think they did that with a couple different Hummers and trucks and in things in the 90s. I remember not like Kool-Aid, but Mountain Dew, things
Yeah.
like that. You'd win the Mountain Dew Hummer, but you'd only have it for
yeah.
Or when Pepsi denied that guy who got enough points to buy the jet that was in their ad, but they wouldn't sell it.
yeah. So that was
Thinking of
Levi.
No, it was
time.
me secretly.
No, I will say.
No, they did pull that though. Pepsi did just pull all their redeemable point things again. So they had this whole point schedule, and you know me and Pepsi points. I had
How
him,
could you not?
I had them going, right? And had quite a bit. And I was getting ready to buy something. And they were like, and on this date, we are stopping all transactions. And when I went to go buy it, it was sold out.
No.
And I was like, I doubt anybody has that many points.
Yeah.
Well,
That.
I mean,
So-
they retain the right to revoke all that
Oh, yeah,
stuff at
no.
any moment. They
Don't
feel
worry,
like,
don't worry, Pepsi. I
with
got your
no
number.
prior
I'm going to
notice.
be
Yeah.
watching for the
Pepsi.
next Pepsi Points
Yeah.
thing, and I'm going to get right on it.
Now, I was going to say shout out to
Win my
Motionado
cooler
TV
scooter.
because he kind of hung around us for a
Yeah.
while when we were at SEMA.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
Hello.
I do wanna finish up my weekend though, since you guys didn't let me finish.
Right. Sorry, we so rudely interrupted.
So so Saturday night,
We just roasted him.
I made it back home on the Grom in one piece, no wrecks, no nothing. Everything was fine.
Nice.
The bike handled awesome. It was great. I was not the only person with an Olin suspension on a Honda Grom out there. So
You're a trendsetter,
How do you feel?
an influencer.
I don't know about that.
See?
But
Anthony's a Grom influencer.
it's like putting Swarovski crystals in the headlights of a Kia Forte.
I don't think it's like that
you
at
should
all.
do that.
Yeah.
You should at your Grom and see how many show up at the racetrack.
a
But
great
anyways,
idea,
I got
Dane.
home and I came home to a nice package at my front door. I ordered a Nintendo Switch
That's
for
right,
all
for
of our
travel.
upcoming travel and trips. I haven't bought a video game system since I bought the PS4 when it first
Yeah.
came out, and that was what 5 years ago now.
So,
That's
yeah.
a long time ago.
I
Yeah,
missed
long
a
time.
couple generations. So I'm
And
behind.
so I bought this Nintendo Switch, and I was just really excited because you guys have a hard time flying. I thought
Yeah.
that maybe if I have a video game.
take your mind off of it.
Video game system there, like something that I can actually
Yeah.
really get
well,
into.
We're going to be on a plane for like the better part of an entire day.
Yeah,
So
I am not looking forward to that. So that's where, and we have, here this next month, I think I have 3 flights that I'm taking. So,
Wow.
anyways, so I got that, and I got some games, but it's funny because I'm sitting there like, I got that feeling of like when you're a kid and you got like a Game Boy and you're like, oh, I'm unopening this Game Boy. I better wash my hands before I play it because
get
I
excited to play
might
it.
get my greasy hands all over this. And then Sunday, pretty much spent most of the day around the house watching Game of Thrones. I right now am, and this is great because I'm now almost halfway through season 4, right? So I have so much life left. It's like
You
I'm
do. You're, like,
catching up on
halfway.
like
You
5
get to see
years
it for the first time. You know.
And and that's
literally
where,
through a newborn's eyes because it was all new for you.
It is, and everything. I'm like, wow, this is getting crazy, and so I love being able to talk to these guys and say, hey, so this just happened. As things get better for her, and you're like, no, no, it doesn't.
It's fun to give you foreshadowing, but we don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
But
I don't
of
want
course,
you to.
it's
Yeah.
fun to just see like, oh, you're so naive, you don't know.
Sweet
where this ends
child.
up.
Yeah, sweet
So
child.
one of the shows I'm excited about that's going to happen this weekend on Amazon Prime. It's one of my favorite books ever written. A show that I'm very, very excited for.
Okay.
That comes out on Prime is Good Omens.
Never heard of it.
Don't
No.
know what that is.
It is a new series on Prime that has come out, and it is written by Neil Gaiman.
Oh, okay.
And Good Omens is basically the story of a demon and an angel who try to save the world from Armageddon.
So it's like Supernatural.
So
Kinda like
basically, it's
Supernatural.
another supernatural for Levi.
But it's funny because it's about 2 angels that literally, it's Crawley and Aziraphale.
So who's the actors in this show? I remember seeing the
Michael Sheen and David Tennant.
Oh, nice.
And,
who's Michael Sheen again?
He's a English actor.
Oh.
Fame and Report.
Okay.
Anyway, so both of them are the characters, and it's funny because it's an extremely hilarious book the way it's written, and some of the stuff is the jokes in it are so
yes, I know
great.
who Michael Sheen is.
Yeah.
I think he's in. Wasn't he in Lord of the Rings?
No,
Are you sure?
pretty sure he wasn't in Lord of the Rings.
I'm not sure.
I was
about
making
that.
sure I was hearing Michael Shane or Michael Sheen because
Michael
that's
Sheen.
different.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry, totally wrong. He was in Twilight. That's what I was getting mixed
Who?
up with. And he was also in Tron. I love that movie. One of my favorites.
But anyway, so it's really funny. So I'm excited for that. That's what I'm excited for this weekend. Natron, our graphic designer here at the Rag Company,
Yes.
is getting married. Cocktails and corn dogs.
Yeah.
Hashtag here shrums the bride.
Yeah, I am going to be going to that wedding.
I am very excited to go to as well.
Dane is not going to that
Dane's
wedding.
going to go see Spider-Man 2 with his parents on that day.
Is that what you're
can't-
doing?
Yeah,
No.
that's why he can't go to the wedding.
He doesn't want to admit it. Just
No.
I
So,
understand that.
funny
Far
side
from
joke,
home looks
inside
good.
joke.
3 was the bad one.
Inside joke. When I first met Nate, he was about 17 years old.
Yeah.
We were working at a bike shop together, and one of the guys at work was getting married. Our boss that was getting married, and gave us all our invitations. And the wedding was like 2 months away, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was really pushing for RSVPs. And he's like, I really need to get this locked in. Like, we've got to get our.
Wait, did you say he gave you guys
Yeah,
an
he
invitation?
handed us actual invitations that him and his wife
So
made.
not an Evite.
Not Evites,
Oh,
no.
okay.
These
That's
were
crazy.
Proper. And we got to remember, this was decades ago.
Oh, the good old days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
This was
Perfect.
well over 10 years ago.
I
Before
see.
the age of machine.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we were handed these wonderfully, beautifully handmade.
I love that. So
yeah.
pure and caring.
Right, yeah.
Thoughtful.
Only the finest couples will
Agreed.
take the time
Definitely.
to put together a
right,
Man,
right.
really laying it on thick.
handmade invitation.
It's just something very important.
I also received one from Nate and his lovely bride. Was a handmade cardstock. Their wedding of things.
Yep.
Anyway,
Hold on. Keep going.
Yeah.
I need to go place an order.
Yeah.
he's gonna go get something. But anyway, so
This
Nate,
guy.
Nate got that, and we were all given it at the same time. We were given the RSVP, and when he was asking, he's like, "I got 2 months left, guys. I need to get these in because we got to get numbers to the caterer. We got to
Sure.
get this going. Like, I need to know if you guys are going." We went around the horn real quick. He's like, "I'm just gonna knock this out for my wife, or fiance." And Nate's excuse was, "I can't come to your wedding on that day because I'm going to see Spider-Man 2 with my parents."
Oh my god.
That was it. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
What is
man.
this?
Whoa, what's happening?
Look, it's even got a fancy written of my name, script of my name.
I can't wait for you to open this up.
Oh my gosh, this is beautiful.
This is
I love
absolutely
this.
breakthrough.
you
Wow,
guys
this
are-
is
Wow.
like a news.
This is
I'm putting
something.
this on the news.
Congratulations for whatever you did to deserve this. Caitlin and Anthony request the honor of your presence at the celebration of their marriage, Saturday, September 4th, 2019, 4 p.m. Please RSVP. Katie loves Anthony.
Oh, man.
Wait, hold on. That's the wrong track. Press it again. Turn it up. Turn
Is
that
that
off.
your guys'?
Turn that off. Turn that off. Wait, press it.
I am.
Keep pressing it.
Well,
Okay,
that's
well, it's just getting louder.
Fantastic.
Okay, all right. So Levi, hold on. Wait, turn it off.
I'm trying.
Levi, we're on the live, dude.
Hold on. Hey, we're on camera. You have to turn this off.
I am.
Okay.
What is that? What is
I was
that?
going to.
Is that someone
was-
talking?
No, I don't
No.
know.
I was going to compliment him on.
I'm
not being
impressed that they
wasteful.
brought
He
it.
was
I'm-
actually
It
using
was beautiful. I love that
a
he
card
gave that
that
to
had
me.
already been made by someone else
Okay,
Yeah.
it's
for this purpose.
there
That
is-
well.
okay.
Did you have to record this?
Wow.
No, I
Way
don't know
to
what that is.
go.
I don't really know. I've never.
What the?
Okay, you're gonna.
What?
You have to turn that off.
What is going
You're,
on?
you have, Levi, you have
I
to.
can't turn it off.
Okay,
Turn it off.
rip it up then. Rip it up. Turn because this can't go on the podcast. It's not turning off. Oh no. It's gonna keep going.
It's all right. It's all right.
Oh my god.
Keep it in there. I want to thank you for that wonderfully designed handmade card.
Okay.
It's getting louder.
Okay, pull it out. Pull it out. Okay, no. Okay, just take it out. Take it out. Take it.
Just take the battery out.
Perfect. It's all right. I don't want
Oh
to
my-
damage the integrity of. You guys put a lot of work and effort into that. I don't want to destroy it.
Wow. I'm going to assume he knew what he was getting into.
That
when
is
he got
that was very
but-
nice of you guys. I love the font you chose
thank-
for my name for
thank
me
you.
and my wife. I think it's
Yeah.
great.
Nice.
I know Carly's really gonna.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to bring you guys one of my old
Still hear it.
cards, so that way, one of my old invitations. I have some still,
Yeah.
from 14 years ago. when
I
my
just
wife
think
and I got
that
married.
was a really nice wedding
It was
invitation.
beautiful.
And I don't know why you
they-
just shoved it away in a drawer like that.
Yeah.
After
I
all
want
of
to keep it safe.
That was
Okay.
really kind of.
Put-
So
a
only
lot
thing
of
I
harsh.
wish was that I got like a photo, because that's another thing is you add a photo into it. So you can look upon the couple.
I don't know if that's
that-
appropriate.
while you're reading-
With
while
the
you're reading the
setting,
card.
with the
Yeah,
Would have
circumstances
been nice
here.
to
Not-
see a
not sure.
beautiful engagement photo of the two of you
No.
up in the foothills
On a bike.
or on a bike.
I don't know about any of that,
That would
actually.
have been really lovely.
I think
I just
that-
want to thank you and your lovely fiance, Catherine, for doing that.
Oh, I can still hear that card.
Amazing. So thank you.
Still going.
Beautiful.
That's
So,
gonna go until the battery wears out.
Dane, when
Yeah.
you
Right.
get married, I hope that you too can provide some sort of
Yeah,
handmade gesture like that. I really think that's a great.
It truly was handmade.
Yeah.
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 All right.
Made with love.
And on that
We need
note,
we need to stand on the scale and measure ourselves out.
Yeah.
weigh
Oh my
ourselves
God,
out.
we managed to go this far without standing on the scale. Holy cow, guys!
Yeah.
Guys
if
ready
you're
to do
watching
this?
this, you've probably been wondering. But if you're listening, you probably
do the
forgot
UK
we're doing our
cut
weight
here.
loss challenge. So let's see where everybody ends up.
keys and heavy duty.
Oh sure, yeah, drop all the.
Stuff.
Yeah, that looks like a really heavy wallet.
It's mostly steel, Dane.
That card is still going. I don't know why that's doing that.
All right, you guys ready? Here we go.
Anthony knew exactly what he was doing.
have to pee so bad.
190.6.
I've gained muscle.
Sure, that's how you can spin it.
All right,
I
Dane.
think this one's off this week because you were fiddling around with it earlier.
No, I got it to where it's on now. It was
He rigged
off.
it.
Okay.
I probably gotta wait for that.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's ready to go, Dane. Hop on there.
Amazing. Okay.
Hop
wait.
on.
It's doing.
Oh, it says 176.
What is it?
14.8 pounds. Step on it. Just step on it.
What? It's not gonna see.
Ew.
Okay, now
Error.
it's going to reset. Okay,
This is
now
excellent
touch it.
podcast, guys.
There you go. Okay.
Excellent podcast.
Hop on there, Dano. Woo! 240, Dane.
Yeah.
240.
Right back up. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think this is
You got a lot.
broken. Anthony,
man.
didn't it say
Drink
you
a lot of
gained
water,
50
you-
pounds?
Well.
Can't do this.
Okay.
Poor Tim's gonna have to edit a lot of this, isn't he?
I hate my life.
Okay. There we go. All right, Anthony's on the scale. 223.4.
Up, I think that's up
Yeah.
a pound.
So
I
we
think
all
I was at a 178
we all
last week.
gained weight.
Apparently we all gained like a
You
decade.
gotta finish the rest of this card. You have to rip it in half. That is
What?
part that you have to rip it. Grab
What?
it right there. You have to rip this thing in half.
I'm not going to get shocked,
Nope,
am I?
no. You just gotta do it.
I feel like something weird.
Rip it.
My arthritic hands don't really work at tearing this apart.
I swear to God, if there's
Can I
glitter.
just open it this way?
It's not glitter. No, you can't open it that way. You have to
Oh,
rip
it's
it.
something, but
Here,
it's not
so-
glitter.
does it
Apparently.
There you go.
Chocolate?
Rip the rest.
What?
Oh.
Oh no!
Oh.
And this is why Anthony was pushing for him to tear it.
Oh, it's really loud. Okay. Oh,
Oh no!
well, guys, I'm so sorry for
Take
this.
the batteries out or something.
Yeah.
We are children.
Oh, it's
Just
good
a
glitter.
bunch.
I like
Of
that glitter. It's a
children.
nice.
It
has
is
a
a
nice
nice
hue.
glitter.
It is beautiful.
It's like little
nice.
rhinestones.
Yeah, looks lovely on there.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
man!
so we should probably go weigh ourselves on the big scale downstairs because this doesn't seem right. Apparently, we all gained a lot of weight.
Everybody gets mad because it gained weight.
We
Well,
all
Maybe
gained a
y'all
lot of
just
weight.
gained weight.
I
Dane,
did
did you
eat
gain
pretty
any
bad
weight?
this weekend.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, I did make brownies and ate brownies and ice cream.
Okay.
We had chip cookies yesterday.
We did.
I did that for Game of Thrones, so that was
All right.
that was my little fun thing to do. So it was beautiful. I love the secondary surprise of this glitter.
Yeah, it
That was
mostly
nice.
operates
Did you
under
do that
the
yourself?
assumption.
So you guys spent the time not only to record that beautiful greeting,
Yes.
Oh.
but to
It,
Fill
wa-
it with glitter.
It took a long time to get that personalized greeting.
see.
I want to give a shout out to the sponsor of this podcast. I
the
believe it
feed.
is. I think it's ruinyourday.com or something like
It's amazing. That's amazing. Truly,
Wow.
truly amazing. So
Class.
loved it.
all the
Beautiful.
way.
All
I like
right.
how he had to tell you what to do because your instinct was not to tear the card open.
Well, why would you
so-
tear a card open?
I know, right? He's probably operating under the assumption
Well,
that somebody's
so
going to get so
here-
pissed
here-
at it that they're just.
Here's the deal. That
Yeah.
battery has a lifespan of, I think it's like 48 hours or 72 hours.
Yeah, it's got
so
2 watch batteries. In
it will keep going.
That's amazing.
Noticed
They have
that.
a secondary battery
and
on it.
for people that didn't realize this, the second you press that button, your instinct is to press it and to turn it off. It actually only gets louder. So the more you, so
That's what
every,
you were saying. It was
so
getting louder.
every time you press it, it just gets louder.
Oh my god.
And so
That's
that was
awesome.
pretty
That was
fantastic.
great.
Levi's handwritten invitation to
I
our
love it.
wedding.
So he finally got what he wanted. Is that what
I'm
you
going to
wanted?
take the batteries out and I'll just leave it on my.
You should.
office.
You
See
should.
what's going to happen now,
Beautiful.
right, guys?
Just hide it. No, put it in the
Now
bathroom.
that Anthony did that,
Just
and
put it in
said
the
that,
bathroom and
we're
shut the
going to
door.
be receiving a bunch of mail here at TRC.
I hope
Hate mail.
Who are trying to ruin our
Yeah.
day.
I
That's
hope.
all right.
I hope so.
It's fun.
So,
All right, guys.
All right, Dane, take it away.
All right.
Thanks
well,
for listening. We hope you enjoyed that a little bit.
Yeah. We did for the most part. It went some interesting places.
Still hear it. Yeah.
Conversationally. Any rate, guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. You never not quite know what you're going to get here at the Rag
No, you
Company
don't.
podcast.
Absolutely.
It covers
Full of
all the
surprises.
bases
Thank you.
and other things
Oh.
that aren't bases because this isn't
Truly-
baseball. All right.
truly
Any rate,
beautiful.
guys, thank you, and we'll see you later. Adios.
Bye.
See ya.